Greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Wolfula, and when I'm not competing with Tempur-Pedic with my own version of memory foam, discarded mattresses stuffed with human brains, I'm here at the Wolfula reviewing movies. Oh boy, it's the first film review of Ahhctober, my little month-long event where I try to give you an extra dose of horror and Halloween mayhem during the otherwise normal October you find in your calendar. Thank me later. The subject of this review is a flick I've avoided covering for, no particular reason. 2001's Jeepers Creepers, written and directed by Victor Salva. There's something odd about this picture of Victor Salva, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Oh yes! Victor Salva has lost a lot of weight since this picture was taken. I'll update it accordingly. Over the years, Victor Salva wrote and directed such classics as his debut film, Clown House, about a little boy being terrorized both on-screen and off-screen, as well as Powder, that tells the inspirational story of a pale teenager with psychic powers who gets struck by lightning at the end. For some reason. Must be a metaphor or something. Salva didn't reach true fame, though, until he wrote and directed the Jeepers Creepers films, inspired by the 1938 song, and not actually based on the first thing people say when they meet Victor Salva. He seems like an okay guy to me. For years, I avoided reviewing Jeepers Creepers for an obvious reason. It had nothing to do with the similarly titled episode of Scooby-Doo. It was a bit heartbreaking, but my Patreon supporters voted for this flick, so now I have to review Jeepers Creepers. Oh joy! Jeepers Creepers tells the story of two siblings driving home from college during spring break through the flat nothingness of the Floridian countryside.
That was a stop sign.
You're kidding, right?
In your car, I'd be kidding.
This brother and sister are both in college together? There's a pretty clear 10-year age difference between these two. Whatever. The brother is Darius Derry Jenner, played by Justin Long, best known as the personification of a Macintosh trapped in Apple's infinite white void alongside John Hodgman. The sister is Trisha Trish Jenner, played by Gina Phillips from, Anyway, despite the fact that these two are adults, they act like little kids on a road trip. Constantly bickering and hurling childish insults at each other.
Mama's boy.
Daddy's whore.
Dick licker.
Ball sniffer.
Ass kisser.
Butt picker.
Repeat, ass and butt, you lose.
When not stopping to piss in clear view of each other. Weird. The two siblings play an incomprehensible license plate game by, either guessing what a license plate approximately could spell out, or they have a pool of phrases that they're hoping to find on license plates. Like Derry's, gay fever?
Yay, gay fever. No, gay forever. Gay forever. Ha, that's mine. That's 3 for little bro.
Thank God the whole movie isn't just thinly written road trip games.
That's a 6, not a G, you idiot. That's sexy forever, that's mine, that's 5 to 2.
As is typical of Florida, a truck drives erratically into the siblings' car, tailgating them.
Around me!
Slow down and let him fucking pass you!
I'm trying!
The rusted truck leaves the two siblings unscathed, but thoroughly shook.
What the hell was his problem?
My first guess? Inbreeding!
After this somewhat exciting life or death moment, the siblings go back to their grating routine of arguing over license plates.
Beating you. That's mine. That's 3 to 5. Oh,
Can't
shit.
call it now.
The film falls into a pattern of the two driving along and being accosted by the fellow in the truck, but it steadily escalates past just being dickish Floridian driving. At one point, the duo spot the driver unloading some, person-shaped sacks into a pipe in the woods. Honestly, a common sight in Florida, but I can understand it raising some eyebrows from people out of state.
Dump something down that pipe.
Wrapped in a sheet.
Wrapped and roped in a sheet.
Wrapped and roped in a sheet with red stains on it.
Was this supposed to be a cartoon? What is up with this dialogue? Speaking of cartoons, Derry and Trish decide to conjure up their inner Scooby Gang and wander back to what is likely a backwoods killer's hideout to do some investigating. I mean, if they do actually find a dead body, they're going to have to contact the police anyway. So I don't see why they don't just keep driving and report the suspicious activity. Oh, why am I questioning Victor Salva's logic? So these dumbass characters check out this pipe behind the church, and Derry has his sister hold him by the legs inside the pipe so he can get a marginally closer look inside. Haha, what a fucking idiot. Then the inevitable critters pop up to cause Derry to fall down into the pipe. Aw, rats. I've been waiting to say that. All of the leaps in logic to get Derry into this situation were just an unabashed method of introducing the catalyst of this film's story.
You know the part in scary movies where somebody does something really stupid and everybody hates them for it? This is it.
You can't just excuse your characters for doing stupid shit for plot's sake by having them make some weak-ass meta-joke about it. Derry tells Trish to look for help, and she does a real good job. She's trying her best. Within this subterranean chamber, Derry finds, covered beneath a sheet, a Twilight vampire-looking motherfucker with a stitched-up gash across his torso. I hear Victor Salva does this to all the boys. Continuing his little investigation, Derry finds a cartoon mad scientist lab, and a few other bodies in the same condition as that last guy, only looking much more like department store mannequins. It's a lot cheaper. Man, I haven't seen this many stitched-up scars since I woke up in that Mexican motel room bathtub. Good times, good times. Derry returns to Trish through a jump scare. Wow, that music was a little delayed. Later, Derry acts traumatized, like he wasn't expecting to find a shitload of dead bodies down in that pipe. The siblings reach a diner for help, which is surprisingly full given the pretty barren parking lot. Did these people walk here? The authorities that should have been alerted earlier are, well, alerted. A lot of good that'll do at this point. It's a fucking horror film after all. Might as well call Aquaman while they're at it. While waiting for the Federinos to arrive, Trish and Derry receive a call via payphone, remember those, from a woman named Giselle, whose only role is to provide exposition.
I don't know if it's a demon or a devil, or just some hungry thing from some dark place in time.
Giselle explains that the fellow in the truck isn't some ordinary Floridian hick, but some kind of ancient evil entity that's unstoppable when it has a scent, and that if Derry hears the song Jeepers Creepers, he's fucking dead.
'Cause that song means something terrible for you. Something so terrible you couldn't dream of it.
How does Giselle know this? I'll explain later. It's stupid, though. When the cops do arrive, the pair finds that their car has been broken into, and that Derry's panties have been raided.
He was standing there at your car, sniffing that laundry, holding big handfuls of it under his nose. Looked like he was liking it, too.
You know, lady, if a dude is sniffing laundry, I'd assume they like it. It's not something you have to do. Afterwards, the pair is followed by a police escort that will totally be useful and not just act as fodder. Wouldn't you know it, though? The radio plays a funky 80s-style remix of Jeepers Creepers.
Creep show, where did you get those eyes?
What's the matter?
That's the song. It's the same song that she was playing. That lady on the phone.
That's not good news. Enter the Creeper, the evil entity wandering the highway. The Creeper, played by Jonathan Breck, isn't really what you'd expect at all in a horror flick. For one thing, Creepers here looks like a scrap Star Trek alien dressed like Walker, Texas Ranger, and he uses a fucking medieval battle axe. For another thing, the Creeper is shown performing all kinds of outrageous Matrix stunts. Is this character supposed to be scary, or just cool to an 11-year-old? Oh, also, the Creeper has wings. Okay, if he has wings, why does he drive a truck? I know he carries the bodies that he likes to chow down on, but he can make a couple of trips. I mean, he gives the severed head a deep soul kissing right on the spot. I do like that there's a slight sense of humor to the Creeper that sets him apart. But he just feels like a hodgepodge of ideas. I mean, he's like a bat creature, right? But he also has a murder of crows that flocks around him. And at one point, he impersonates Mrs. Peacock's scarecrow.
Get the hell away from it!
Why did that scarecrow explode? Did it have a Galaxy Note 7 inside it? Jeepers Creepers does favor suspense over kills, which is admirable, but kind of necessary since there's only like 2 characters for most of the flick. Can't exactly have a body count. The score of the film contributes to the suspense, but at times gets a little overwhelming. Like with the annoying siren sounds during the truck chase. Jeepers Creepers does have a strong sense of tension ramping up over time, with the chase gradually building up with each scene. But then you're reminded of the stupidity of the characters on the screen, and it kinda doesn't matter anymore.
Get back in the car, Trish!
There are multiple points in this movie where the characters will sit around and watch scary shit happen without doing anything. Like they're in a fucking trance.
What do I do?
Do something! The infuriating aspects of the characters don't stop at their inaction. Justin Long's character comes off as a total whiner.
You drink the last water? Last one was mine.
While Gina Phillips is bitchy all of the time.
The point of having a portable phone, idiot, is that it works when you need it.
I have a power cable for it.
Yeah, and I have a cigarette lighter that doesn't work.
Oh, God damn it, what did I say? My car!
These two undesirable traits combine into the perfect storm of unlikable horror movie characters. I will say this though, Justin Long and Gina Phillips do have good chemistry together.
But you don't think I can understand the complex nature of your relationships?
No, I look at you as a real expert.
They feel believable as a brother and sister, but their characters lack depth. These two are obviously familiar with each other, so very little about their backstory is revealed. I don't know much about these fucking people. The worst character in the movie would have to be Giselle, though. Giselle is an entirely too convenient character. She's a psychic who's been having dreams about the Creeper and the two siblings.
Giselle likes to think she's the resident psychic around here. She helped us out on a missing persons case.
You think I could just talk to these kids by myself?
This gift allows Giselle to foreshadow future events in the flick, and also provide the siblings, and the audience, with all the Creeper's background information. For instance, Giselle knows that the Creeper is only active for 23 days every 23 years, feeding and then going into hibernation like a fucking grizzly bear.
Every 23rd spring. For 23 days. It gets to eat.
Also, Stephen King's It kind of already did this. Anyway, having a fucking psychic character that just knows everything that a mysterious monster can't tell you about himself is a serious fucking plot contrivance.
You think I like having this in my head? Well, I don't.
It's a blatantly lazy way to get around providing the backstory to a transient creature that lives on a highway. It's especially shitty because Giselle is such a one-dimensional character. She has no connection to the Creeper or the siblings, never met him, and has no reason to give a shit about any of this. No stakes. Giselle might as well have been Victor Salva himself, explaining aspects of his script to his own characters. It's like if Dr. Loomis just showed up in Halloween, having never met Michael Myers, but he had a vision or something that told him that Michael was bad news, and that he was gonna kill some folks. Just stupid.
I think that's another reason I love his script so much. You know, they're not written in sort of a contrived way.
I'm gonna be spoiling the rest of Jeepers Creepers. If you got a problem with that, skip to the time code and feast your peepers on the rest of the video. Well, Derry and Trish fucked the Creeper up pretty thoroughly with their car, leaving him looking like a smushed cockroach. Well, that resolved itself pretty well. But there's more movie after this, so maybe not. The duo heads to a police station where they meet up with Giselle, who provides the info dump and predictions of death I mentioned earlier, but also reveals that the Creeper takes certain organs from people that it then regenerates as its own.
It all becomes a part of it. Whatever it eats becomes a part of it.
So, that must mean there's some poor guy with a missing 12-inch dick out there. It goes without saying that the Creeper isn't dead, and lays waste to the police at the station, who are all just days before retirement. Tragic. The siblings find themselves cornered by the Creeper, who has his peepers on Derry.
This bitch
More police arrive. Man, this backwoods police station has a lot of cops. And we have ourselves a regular Mexican standoff. You know, if one of the guys in a Mexican standoff can have mandibles instead of a gun. Trisha tries her best to reason with the beast.
Just think for a second. I won't fight you. You can take me. I'm stronger. You want me.
A lot of good that does. Way to go, Trish. How anticlimactic can you get? Hey diddle diddle, and the cartoon Creeper flew under the moon. So, Derry's pretty much fucking dead. And I'm surprised the next day there aren't, like, news reporters wondering what happened at this fucking police station. Trisha has hope that Derry still lives, though, since Giselle's visions didn't come 100% true. Seemingly. But nope. As we see at the Creeper's new supervillain hideout, he has indeed slain Derry, showing me way too much of Justin Long's dick region in mannequin form. If you're wondering where the Creeper got those peepers, well, now you know, I guess. I wonder if Victor Salva kept that Justin Long mannequin. So, that was Jeepers Creepers. It's not a terrible horror flick, but it's kinda mediocre. I'm sure it was one of the first horror films seen by many millennials, so it carries some fond memories, but it's filled with stupid characters and has a wacky villain. And I mean wacky. I give Jeepers Creepers a creeper out of Justin Long's peepers. If you'd like to know more about Victor Salva's varied career, check your local library. Or look him up on the Contra Costa Police Department database.
nuh-uh, 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 nuh-uh.